discussing about domain 4, which is cloud service types. Now, what we understood in our previous session, we understood about the cloud benefits. Now we know what are the benefits of the cloud, but now we need to see which services are available over the cloud, which service we can take. Like we already understood about infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Now we will go little deep dive inside these services, and we will compare these three together, and we will see what are the different use cases when we will be using infrastructure as a service, when we can use platform as a service, and we will be utilizing software as a service as per the requirement. So we will see all these differences in this module. So number one, as previously we discussed that what is the introduction of this module. So number one, we will see that cloud working is in the environment that it is important to know what to allow, what is the same. Like for example, my company is saying that we want to utilize some of the services over the cloud. Give us suggestion whether we need to go software as a service, whether we need to go platform as a service, and either we need to go infrastructure as a service. So we need to decide, and we need to suggest the company, you can go either infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or software as a service. And then we need to tell them different appropriate use cases of that. Like this will be the benefit of infrastructure as a service, and these are the disadvantage. And these are the benefits of platform as a service, but there is a disadvantage also. So we will think about all the benefits or all the disadvantages, and then we will decide we will go for infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or software as a service. So if we will talk about in the module about services as an infrastructure, so it's like a renting a house. So first we will generally understand about these services. Like for example, you came to UAE and you want to stay somewhere. So three options will be there. Either you can rent a house, or you can fully furnished apartment you can take, or you can just check into the hotel. So three options in front of you. You came to UAE. Now it's up to you. You want to stay only for one day in the UAE, or if you want to stay in 1 month, or maybe you want to stay full year here. So you will decide as per your requirement. Like for example, if you just came to UAE just to enjoy Dubai or something like that, and then after one day you will go back to India, then which option you will choose? Obviously, you will choose check-in hotel. You will just pay one night rent, and you will just go to the hotel, and you will stay a night, and next day you will leave the hotel and you will go back. So that is the software as a service example. Everything will be ready made. Hotel will be having bed, hotel will be having furniture also, hotel will be having maybe kitchen also inside, and also they will provide you food. So no need to do anything. Even you don't need to cook, even you don't need to you bring any chair or something like that. Even everything will be available in the washrooms. So that is, everything is ready made. You will just check in and you will use everything. Same software as a service is there. You will just purchase the service or software. You will just log into the cloud and you will use the services. You will not manage the operating system. You will not manage the hardware. You will not update the system. Just log in and we will use it. The best example is Office 365. Before we were using Office in our laptop, we need to bring CD, we need to install the Office, and then we were able to use that. And also the example of Gmail. We are just logging into the Gmail and we are checking our emails and all that. We are not managing the servers. We are not managing the things. So these are the simple example whenever everything is ready made. Like you can say that 90% is the responsibility of the cloud. So that is software as a service. But if you need a full furnished room or full furnished apartment, but there will be no food, there will be no kitchen, there will be nothing. So you will be having furniture on, so well furnished, but that is 50-50. 50% things will be provided from the cloud, and 50% you need to manage. Like bed and these kind of furniture will be available, but you need to bring the food or you need to cook or you need to do these things. So 50-50 is there. So platform as a service, they will provide you server, they will provide you hardware, they will provide you necessary software also, but you need to manage your services, you need to manage your data and these kind of things 50-50. So platform as a service will be always 50-50. But if you just want to rent a house, maybe it can be empty room, there is nothing inside, like it will be only 20% things. Like it's just a painted house without anything. There are just windows and curtain, nothing else. So you need to purchase furniture, you need to purchase kitchen things, you need to purchase eating food, you need to prepare food. So 70 or 80% you need to do these things. So that is mean by renting out a house. So it's a 20-80 rule or 30-70 rule. 70 to 80% things you need to manage, 20 to 30% will be managed by the cloud provider. So these are just general example. Infrastructure as a service is a renting house. Platform as a service is a general example of fully furnished apartment, 50-50. And checking into the hotel, everything is ready made. You will just log in and you will just go and you will stay the hotel. Same, we will apply the rules on the cloud providing services. So first one is infrastructure as a service. Like I said, it's a 20-80 rule. 20% will be responsible by the cloud and 80% will be responsible by the customer. So we are managing 80% things here. Like if we will say flexible cloud service type, how flexible? Because maximum control over the resources will be with you. That is why it is flexible. Like if you are renting a house, you can select your furniture, you can select your all the things. So same like here, you just purchase the hardware from the cloud side, nothing inside. You can choose anything, you can choose your operating system, you can choose your services. But the problem with this system is security also will be in your hand, and also it will be update and all these things will be under you. So that is why cloud provider will be responsible for hardware and network and physical security only. And you will be managing operating system, network, storage, and all these kind of things. So this will be under you. So it can say that 70% things you will be managing, only 30% will be managed by the cloud. Like they will only responsible for hardware and network and physical security. You don't need to buy a security guard, you don't need to put cameras outside, so they will be managing these kind of physical security. But inside applications you need to manage everything. If you will say the shared responsibility model, yesterday we said, so cloud provider will be giving physical security and installation, configuration, and manage everything. This will be our responsibility. So what are the common uses when we use these services? We use these service lift and shift migration. Lift and shift mean that we have already servers in our environment. We just want to shift it to the cloud. So we already have in server and everything. We will just purchase one infrastructure as a server and we will move this server into the cloud. So that is mean by lift and shift. Like you already have furniture and you want to shift another flat. So what you will do? You will just rent out another flat, empty flat. You will take the existing furniture and you will shift it to the new flat. That is mean by lift and shift. So whenever we already have the hardware, whenever we have already servers, we just want to move to the cloud. We will purchase infrastructure as a service and then we will move our servers completely to there because we already have everything. Testing and management. There is another use case, like whenever we want to just test an application, we don't want to purchase one server for that. So just we will purchase the service as an infrastructure and we will use their infrastructure. We will test implementation and then we will just delete that server. So in the testing environment or development environment, we will also use these. So these are the use cases when we can use this infrastructure as a service. Any question here? So when we will use infrastructure as a service, like we have already hardware, We just will rent out and then we will upload our services. And if we want to test something, then we will also take infrastructure as a service and then we will just test it and then delete it. Second is platform as a service. So platform as a service, we already understood that it is a physical infrastructure and security, intermediate connectivity, operating system, malware, and these. Before, inside the infrastructure as a service, these things were not able to manage by the cloud service provider. But here in the platform as a service, these things will be also managed by the cloud service provider. So it's just a middle ground between the infrastructure as a service and software as a service. So you can say that it was 30/70 and it was 70/30. So that was the opposite. But here we can say that it is a 50/50. So that is why we can say that it is a middle ground of the both infrastructure as a service and software as a service. Not we are managing 70% or not they are managing 70%. It's a 50/50. So it's a middle ground. They are also managing the physical infrastructure as a service, and they are also managing the operating system, middleware, and these kind of things also. So that is why this is platform as a service. So it's developing and deploying the application, same like infrastructure as a service. But now we need also some underlying softwares we need to use. And also, we don't need to worry about licensing and patching. So in infrastructure as a service, when I will upload my hardware there, I will use my licenses. They will not give me license. But if I will go for platform as a service, they will also provide me the licenses. So same in the responsibility model, cloud provider will provide infrastructure now plus OS also, database also, and development tool also. Before in the infrastructure, they were only using infrastructure, but now they are also giving us these services. But still, we have applications, data, something networking and security we need to manage. So that is 50/50, 50/50 now. Before it was 30/70, now it's 50/50. What are the common uses when we will use this development framework? Now we are developing the application and then we will just use their infrastructure, their code, and all these things. Analytics and business intelligence, we just want to use their built-in models and then we will use for our scalability and high availability and multi-tenancy. Like these kind of features will be available in the platform as a service. Next, we have software as a service. Software as a service is built in everything. 90% is the responsibility of the cloud, and we are only responsible for 10% or something, 5% of it. So that is mean by complete cloud server model. So they will be managing each and everything like Office 365. We are just logging in and we are using that service. So fully developed applications ready to use. Like it's a hotel. We are just checking in. Everything is there. Furniture is there. Kitchen is there. Food is there. Everything is ready made. Then we will just log in and we will go inside and we will use it. Common examples are email, messaging, business apps, finance, expense tracking, these kind of section. We don't need to manage. Everything will be ready made. We will just log in. Like same, we are checking an email, but we are not managing that email server. We are just logging in and we are checking our email. We are sending email, receiving email. We are not responsible for the underlying hardware. And that is least flexible and easiest to deploy. Easily we can deploy that. In terms of shared responsibility model, cloud provider will be providing each everything now. Physical security, plus network, plus infrastructure, plus application, plus patching. Each and everything will be responsibility of the cloud provider. Only we will be managing our data and access. Nothing else. Just user accounts and our data, what we are uploading and downloading. So it's a 10/90 model. 90% is the responsibility of the cloud, 10% is the responsibility for ourselves. What are the key takeaways? SaaS allows user to focus only on the application. So what is the benefit for that? We are having one server and we are just having software considerations. So we will be just focusing on the software. Everything else here we don't need to worry about. Hardware or operating system or applications or update on these kind of things, we don't need to worry. So that is the benefit for that. We can only focus on the application. Like I am the developer of the application. I don't need to worry about which hardware they are using. I don't need to worry about which software they are using. I will just go log into the account and I will just manage application, nothing else. So everything else, managing the infrastructure and update will be responsibility of the cloud. So I don't need to worry about these things. So that is software as a service. 90% is the responsibility of the cloud. Finally, if we will compare all these services all together, so if we will see the definition, this is basically all infrastructure and this is 50-50 and this one is fully managed application but ready to use. If we will see as a flexibility or control, that is maximum flexible, that is focused on development and that is focused on user application. If we will see in terms of shared responsibility, this will be responsible by the 30-70. We already understood 30% will be cloud and 70% will be us. Here, this will be 50-50 and here it will be 90-10. See, common use cases we already understood. If we want to lift and shift, then we will use this model. If you want to develop the framework, we will use this model. And if we just want to use an email and all these messaging system ready-made, then we will use this system. What are the benefits or pros? Benefits, fully control and highly customized because that we have full control. Fast development because we can develop application very fast. Quick deployment and minimal maintenance, user friendly, this model. If we will see the disadvantages, these are the benefits and these are the disadvantages. What are the disadvantages? It is more manageable effort because we need to manage each and everything for here, 70%. So that is a disadvantage because we need to hire our engineer, we need to manage our self security. So that is the disadvantage of this model, infrastructure as a service. If we will see platform as a service, less control because here we have more control, here we have 50% control, 50% not control. So if we will see that as per the control, we will have only 50 control, 50% not. It one is the least control, we will have only 10% control here because we cannot do anything on their hardware. So that is the disadvantage of the infrastructure. So benefit is there, we don't need to manage, but the disadvantage is we don't have control over that. If we want to change something, we cannot change because we don't have the availability. Any question? Then we will move toward the summary of both sessions. So you understand what is mean by infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Can you give me any example of these three infrastructure, PaaS and SaaS? What is the general example of infrastructure as a service? So that is, we will wind up here. We understood about all the benefits about the cloud, about the high availability, scalability, horizontal and vertical scaling. We understood about reliability and predictability as per the performance and cost. And we also understood about security and governance. And finally, we have understood we can manage the cloud as a cloud in, and we can also manage as a cloud whole. Then we have understood about the availability option and then the Azure services, what are the available. Three major services we have discussed: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. And we have also compared these all services together. And then we have also seen use cases of these cloud services. If you don't have any question, then we can wind up. Okay, so next sessions will be little longer because these were just basic topics. We need to understand about the benefits and we have to understand about all the services. And in the previous session, we understood about what kind of cloud we can use, private, public, and hybrid. Now we know about the cloud. Then specifically in next module, we will be going towards architecture of the cloud. Like we will be understanding each and every service separately, like compute services, networking services, and all the component of the cloud. So until then, we will be having next session on Saturday, same time, 11 o'clock. Yeah. And if you want to repeat this session, I will just edit and upload these sessions also. And then you can just go to the channel and you can just view this thing, and you can review these things if you just forget something and all that. Okay, then next week, 11 o'clock.